The anti-migrant protests in Northern Ireland turns into riots. 15 police officers have been injured, and the Northern Irish establishment have now launched a massive crackdown against the angry locals. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm Maya Tusi and this is your latest news update, this time from Northern Ireland, the United Kingdom. Some of you might have already heard what's been going on since last night, late last night, when the protests started in Ballymena in Northern Ireland against a couple of migrant suspects who were accused of sexually assaulting a couple of young girls. And especially obviously one of them who it resulted into going to court. We're going to give you guys all the updates because people are getting angrier and angrier at the establishment for not keeping their communities safe. It's not really a surprise that these sort of protests are now turning into violent riots. Now, of course, the political establishment, both in Northern Ireland and in the UK in general, are focusing on the crackdown rather than actually addressing the real issues. Before we start, tomorrow, as some of you know, is my birthday. And to celebrate this, if you want to get me a gift, if you want to get me a present, you can become a member of 2CTV Plus. Well, we're giving you guys a 37% off discount on annual memberships of 2CTV Plus. If you use the promo code 2C37, obviously that means I'm going to become 37 tomorrow. So yeah, that's your present to me. Become a member of 2CTV Plus, download the 2CTV app, get access to all the documentaries, podcasts, and chat forum as well. All right, first things first, let's talk about what's actually been happening. Protests started in Ballymena after two 14-year-old migrant boys were charged with attempted sexual assault and they were remanded in custody by the police. They appeared at the magistrate's court. This was yesterday. The charges against them had to be read to them by a Romanian interpreter. They didn't even speak English. So all these tiny parts of the story resulted in local people in Ballymena and across Northern Ireland becoming angrier and angrier. Now, the fact that the establishment are making things harder by having open borders and promoting multiculturalism and attacking you if you criticize the establishment, if you complain that your area is becoming unsafe for women and children, for anybody really, you're the problem. And we're going to go to the statement, the press conference from the police in Ballymena, that they decided to call everybody a far-right racist or whatever they call them as usual, right? It did get very violent. A small group of people from the protest started attacking the migrant house. That the house obviously belonged to the migrants, or belonged to migrants. And they set it on fire. 15 police officers injured. First, let's go to that, and then we're going to show you what actually happened throughout the day, and also a quick interview with one of the family members of the victim. Yeah, the problem we have with this, by the way, as usual, we've had a lot of idiots in the media across the world who don't know the difference between the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. So they've been reporting this. It is so embarrassing, that's the so-called mainstream media. They keep saying, in Ireland, the Irish, I'm like, okay, it's a whole different country. Northern Ireland is in the United Kingdom. Now, a chunk of people in Northern Ireland want to become a part of the Republic, but there's still the other chunk who want to be in the United Kingdom. For now, constitutionally speaking, it's in the UK. Even though the British government betrayed them and left them inside the European Union, they're still part of the UK. But they don't actually understand the media. So they keep saying, people in Ireland, it's next door. It's different. They have a different flag. Anyway, more footage from the troubles and the unrest. Of course, the migrant house was set on fire. Watch this.
Where's the cord?
The thing about this is that the UK government, the way they are handling this, and the UK Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, his priority, as I said, is to attack not just those who actually did the rioting. Of course, regardless of if you're angry or not, if you are attacking a property and if you're setting it on fire, that's a crime. We know that. That's a criminal activity. You're angry and you're committing a crime. But those who went on the march to actually just protest, and we're going to show you that video as well, before it turned into riots, those who were just concerned, local, angry people, and they were just protesting, they're going to do a crackdown against them as well. And that is the problem. They find this small group and they go after everybody else because they want to shut down everybody else. They're not actually even concerned about those who do the rioting. They want to use that to shut down the debate and cancel all the others who simply want to protest as well. Anyway, so thousands of angry local people came out after fear that their own communities, the crime is going up and safety is going down over mass migration and, of course, the promotion of multiculturalism. Watch this.
You're right. They're fucking right.
There's someone in that room right now.
I bet, are they local? If they're local, they need out.
Now, over the last few days and couple of weeks, we've had big issues that's been going on. First, we had Ireland to deal with. Now, obviously, this problem in the UK, the way that the police are doing a crackdown is also fascinating because most of it is actually used by using the mainstream media, the media as the propaganda arm of the state. If you simply go and focus on those who commit a crime, that's fine. We get it. First things first, you guys in the establishment, in the UK government, you have, and obviously in terms of the Assembly in Northern Ireland, you are all part of the UK state. And you have to have meetings. You guys at the top of the establishment must start having meetings, must actually start exploring why. Try to assess the situation. Why is it that people are getting angry? Throughout history, people in each country, there's always a lot of people who could get angry and who could kick off. Now, if you just go and complain about them complaining, you don't fix the problem. I get it. Go and arrest those who commit a crime. We get that. But people are angry because they're saying, well, yes, we did commit a crime, fine. But why is it that you're not going after the foreign criminals and illegal migrants and those who are also adding to existing problems? If you address that issue, you won't have angry people to deal with. So that you go around to label them. Anyway, so they started, again, most of the day started with the protest before things escalated. I've been checking the media over the last few hours. They're not actually showing the footage of the protest itself.
Hello?
This is the United Kingdom in 2025, and we can see that even when people are angry, they are still patient. If we don't address the problems, they will lose that patience. Now, as I said, nobody's promoting crime, nobody's condoning the criminal activities, but you have to understand why the violence happens in the first place. When people in the UK, the culture in the UK, even in Northern Ireland, is extremely patient and tolerant. Now, that aside, there was one of the independent media outlets. Unfortunately, I need to apologize because I don't know his name. If anybody in the live chat knows, actually, let me know so I could actually give a credit. We found this clip on social media. He went around and actually he found one of the family members of the victim and interviewed her. So let's watch this. Obviously, if you know in the live chat who this person is, let me know.
Yeah, can you walk and talk? Can you get in front? So you're part of the family. I don't know what to say. You know, I'm not going to say sorry because, like, I'm sure you're sick of hearing that. What happened?
I'm not going to really say too much. I don't know too much, to be honest. But she was taken into a house and brutally sexually assaulted on Saturday evening.
So she was taken into the house, sexually assaulted.
There was a mattress in the garage.
There was a mattress.
Yeah.
Do you know, was there more than one man? Three men. Right. So, so you're here. Fair play to you. I can't believe the crowd has come out to support these guys. You know what I mean? It's absolutely immense. There's no flags. There's no shouting. It's totally respect. It's totally respectful.
It's not about. It's a child has been hurt and.
It's three now. It's three incidents.
2 weeks ago it was brushed under the carpet. I wasn't aware of the one before that.
Yeah.
But the child 2 weeks ago was the same age and it's absolutely disgusting.
Right,
absolutely disgusting. I don't want my kids going anywhere.
I know it's really difficult and I really appreciate speaking out. And I always say to people, anybody I come up to, you know, this is the time to speak out. You know, it really is. Yeah, definitely. And like I say, the media aren't helping us. The government aren't helping us. The only people who can help us is us, and we need to find a system. We need to find a system amongst ourselves to stop this happening. And I don't know what the answers are. Like, you know what I mean?
I can do this every night.
Yeah,
no bother, and we will as a family do it every night if we have to. Yeah. But something has to be done. Like, I mean, I was going through the town the day, and it's usually spot the white man. There was nobody about the day. They were all they were all staying out. I don't know. Because they walk about here in their pajamas. They walk about here like absolute gypsies thinking they own the place. Yeah. Enough's enough.
Yeah, enough is enough. And this is the thing, you know what I mean?
And especially when it's 3 14-year-old boys have been arrested for this. They're kids too.
Well, so they say. Let me tell you something. We don't need. See, at the end of the day, if they come with the ID, this is the thing. There's the undocumented men, so they can say whatever they want to say.
I follow all these platforms. I've seen that they've been into schools saying that they're school age. They've been hounding girls, and then it comes out and they've maybe been done for gun charges or whatever else when they've in their own country. Away on, they need to go back.
Yeah,
it's insane. Big shout out to Freedom Dad, who was there on the ground and filming this. Obviously, a credit to him. Thank you guys in the live chat for letting me know about Freedom Dad. Now, it's fascinating how, obviously, when something like this again happens in the UK, after the riots that we had last summer, this is yet another, basically, about this one was a slightly smaller scale compared to what happened in Southport. But again, regardless, this is still in the United Kingdom. And with all the other problems that we've had, for example, next door in Ireland, you would think that the authorities in the UK, in Northern Ireland, would be on top of things to ensure that they are fixing all the cracks. There's a lot of cracks right now in the system. And by system, I'm not talking about political system, I'm talking about society. There's a lot of cracks that they've created. You've got all these people, a lot of foreign criminals, a lot of dodgy people without vetting their backgrounds, right? And I'm not even actually talking about the suspects. I'm not even talking about them. That's just symbolic about all the others that we don't know. There's so many people right now in schools. Some of them might not actually be children. They might be lying about their age, and they have lied about their ages. And again, I'm not talking about these two specific people, but again, that just shows the cracks in society. You need to fix it before the next one happens. But it seems like they don't care. So that's what people are saying, well, they're doing it on purpose. Clearly, the establishment are doing it, they're doing it on purpose. They don't care. Now, it's either a huge level of complacency or they're just complicit. And they just really hate people of this country. Especially with what happened, again, last few days in Ireland, you would think that they want to prevent that. Apparently not. Anyway, the peaceful, the actual protest itself started. Thousands of people there. A lot of them left. A few hundred people stayed, attacked the house. Things escalated from there. Let's quickly go, just a reminder, what sort of level of violence we had, and then 15 police officers were injured.
Okay, mate, okay, mate, I'm all right, mate, thank you.
Yeah, although I can still see somehow in the live chat, some people still think this happened in Ireland. This did not happen in Ireland. This happened in the United Kingdom. This was in Northern Ireland. It's not the Republic of Ireland. Anyway, having said that, the press conference from the police. Oh, okay. So the establishment Ballymena, they seem to be focusing on the wider impact of the everything, not just the riots but the protests, right? But they give you the line, which is we are talking about the rioters. We're talking about the riots, but the crackdown should be on everybody who was there. Again, it's the same thing that happened last year in Southport and across England. Watch this.
Last night saw significant sustained disorder in Ballymena. This violence was clearly racially motivated and targeted at our minority ethnic community and the police. It was racist thuggery, pure and simply, and any attempt to justify or explain it as something else is misplaced.
Hang on, if it was racially motivated, that you said racially motivated targeted the ethnic minority community, that's already false, and I'm going to explain why that's a lie. And they also targeted the police. How did they racially get motivated to target the police? You do realize that it's nothing to do with race when it comes to attacking the police. That's a whole different thing. That's against authority. That's a different problem. Secondly, they did not, even the violent rioters, they did not go around targeting the ethnic minority community. They didn't. They targeted one, essentially, group, one family, one house. Still very wrong to burn down houses. We get that. That's illegal. But it's not like they were going around on the streets finding random people who are not white across Northern Ireland. Now, it could get to that point. If you don't fix the problems, it's going to get worse. And the fact that he was simply just focusing on the few hundred people who attacked the house, right? Not thousands of others who were also there earlier, simply protesting and marching. They basically, with their language, they put everybody in the same box. In England, last year, people who were simply standing on a pavement watching the protests, even they got arrested. Everybody is in the same category. This is disgusting behavior from the UK establishment. Now, this is a sort of language that we didn't even get from the Republic of Ireland. Because they were saying, even in Ireland, even in Dublin, the idea was that the narrative from the establishment in Dublin was, we understand a lot of people are angry, people protest, but some people riot. Now, they're lying because they don't understand why people are protesting, right? But when it comes to the UK, in this situation, in Northern Ireland, they didn't even address that there were also thousands of others who were just angry, but they were concerned and they were just protesting. They pick at those few people who were attacking the house and saying everybody did the exact same thing. And apparently everybody, it was racially motivated. It's not racially motivated, it's a very basic human psychology. When people become fearful and paranoid about their own safety, people lash out. It's just part of human nature. And most animals, other creatures do the same thing. We just live in a modern world, so a lot of these idiots don't understand that human nature is still the same. If you make people feel unsafe, people will lash out. And they're still doing it in a targeted way. If they had gone around, thousands of people in Northern Ireland, randomly attacking people who are brown, yeah, that would have been a bigger issue. But that's what they want you to think, that everybody was racist. Let's get some reaction from you guys. Super chat from Best Black, thank you very much, saying Freedom Dad, excellent reporting live. Yes, big shout out to Freedom Dad. The Irish government is using illegal immigrants to attack the Irish people. Yes, but we're not talking about Ireland or the Irish government in this situation. We're talking about Northern Ireland, which is the United Kingdom, a different country. PC says, Maya Island, I won't travel to over. It's anti-Israel. Yes, but this is not, we're not talking about Ireland, we're talking about the UK. Keir Starmer is the Prime Minister of Northern Ireland. Well, they have their own First Minister. Well, they try. It's a bit of a mess, right? All right. Of course, we got the Irish nationalists who they say this, not Northern Ireland, it's the north of Ireland. So people have their own views, obviously, in terms of the divide, right? And I fully understand it. So I'm not, the people who are pro the unification of Ireland, that's one thing, right? But I don't care about feelings. I don't care about your emotions right now. Constitutionally, is Northern Ireland part of the United Kingdom? That's what it is. Now, I'm just going to say, I will be on your side. Let's just do the whole Ireland thing, right? And obviously the loyalists in Northern Ireland are going to get angry, but stay with me. I'm just saying it for the sake of the argument. Right now, constitutionally, is Northern Ireland. It's the same. The country of my family, Iran, whether I like it or not, it's currently the Islamic Republic of Iran. Now, I could go around like delusional Iranians saying, no, but the Cyrus the Great, this is Persia. I'm like, no, it's not. You want it to be, but it's not. So right now, constitutionally, it's the Islamic Republic of Iran. So I don't really care about people's feelings. When you have the facts, you have the facts. All right, it's Northern Ireland. Get over it. Larson says it's Northern Ireland. Yes, just facts. One day you could change it, but right now it's still, in terms of the borders and everything else. Borders, by the way. So Dr. Stein from New Zealand saying, very sickening, the illegals should be deported. Yep. Jason says, no, it's part of England. Well, it's not. That's also incorrect. It's part of the UK, but it's not part of England. Shona says, God save Ulster. And PC says, won't go to Northern Ireland either. Sorry. Same reason. Yes, Northern Ireland is UK. Yes. All right, let's get the members of 2CTV Plus. Where are you guys? All right. Make sure to become a member of 2CTV Plus. You get access to all the chat forum as well if you want to talk to me directly. And like-minded people, you can actually take advantage of our special limited offer. 37% off annual memberships of 2CTV Plus by using the promo code 2C37. The link is in the description, or you can just go on 2C.tv. The website is also on the screen down here. All right, let's go to you lovely humans. AFC Man UK says, okay, it's wrong to riot, but the Prime Minister, the police and the mainstream media labeling them racist, far-right thugs, again, is just adding fuel to the fire. Yeah, but again, let's not forget what they want to do. They want you, AFC, and you guys watching, and me, they want us to just defend the rioters so that they could also get us to get into trouble and basically label us the same thing. No, defend thousands of people who were there as concerned, angry people protesting. They want you to just talk about the rioters so that they could basically create a narrative. It's just a riot. It's just a riot. And by the way, when actual violent riots happen without a protest, for example, in Los Angeles, they say, there's no riot. This is just a peaceful march. Really? You're just gaslighting everybody? We are admitting, we can see the facts. Yes, there were rioters in Northern Ireland. They attacked the house. They burned it down. Yes, that did happen. We're not denying that. But you also have to acknowledge thousands of people who protested without attacking anybody. Gareth said the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland have a combined population that's smaller than London. The rate and scale of demographic change forced upon the island of Ireland, by the way, has been both reckless and dangerous. But this is the thing. Let's not forget there are places. For example, the Republic of Ireland is still relatively small compared to like a country like Canada or Australia or the US. Demographic changes, when it's happening at this rate, people keep talking about England, right? Oh, well, England's going to change by 2050. Yes, it will change by 2050, demographic-wise, right? But in smaller places, like Northern Ireland or the Republic of Ireland, it will happen much sooner and much more radically. Kefir Revolution says, based Northern Irish, still more civil protests than the riots in LA. Police already saying it's racist. Yeah, even though It's interesting how the police and the mayor in LA didn't call the rioters anti-American, right? Lady Jay Windsor says, I've got 2 young grandchildren with another on the way. My daughter can't see the problems with mass immigration or Islam. I'm worried sick about the future for them. It's because they're keeping people in bubbles, and there's a lot of propaganda, not just necessarily in schools, but even on social media. So they ensure that they have the propaganda narrative everywhere. So all these kids, as long as they're not really encountering what we encounter, especially in big cities like London, then they can keep their heads buried in the sand. That's basically the idea that these idiots have. Scrolls Away says, one thing I know about the Irish is that they are not racist. Well, which Irish? Well, also, with all the respect to the Irish, we have racists in every country. We have racists in Nigeria, we have racists in China, we have racists in Kenya, in Japan. Yes, there are racists everywhere. Also, there's a lot of a very specific type of racism in the Republic of Ireland. Obviously, we're not talking about Ireland right now. I know Squirrels Away is talking about Ireland, but yeah. And they know what it's like to be classified as the lowest of the low. These are angry mums and dads, just like in Southport, who are being ignored. This is our children and the migrants are messing with. If the government don't listen, what are they to do? Riots, though, I don't agree with. Protests, sure, peaceful and in massive numbers. Exactly. Let's not forget that they're still not addressing the real issue. Why were the police not doing massive press conferences when for example, the migrants were being accused of attacking innocent people? Why did we not get press conferences with that? V6 says there will be, oh, where's it gone? There will be those who think if they keep their heads down and not rock the boat, everything will be fine. The boat needs rocking and, if necessary, sinking. The whole establishment and civil service is compromised, if not rotten to the core. Once someone has even a little bit power, power corrupts. By showing there are right-wing protests, they will have an excuse to go full authoritarian, if not Stalin or 1984. But an uprising is looking to be the only way out to many, and an incomplete uprising will give them what they want. So this defeats the purpose. So V6 is right, that power corrupts the moment you get to power. But then the second part of the argument makes no sense. We've seen it before. We've seen it with Oliver Cromwell as a dictator and many others. You do an uprising, right? And I've talked to all these anarchists as well who say this. Do an uprising because you say it's the power that corrupts those who are at the top. Okay, so good. You're going to bring him down, right? Bloody revolution. People are going to die and hang them. Cool, do that. Burn their babies, right? Everybody in the establishment gone. Now, some of you are going to have to get into power. Maybe the person who led the revolution, right? Now that person's going to get to the top with a small group of people. What's going to happen then? Power corrupts. Happening same thing with Oliver Cromwell. How many times do we have to go through the same cycle of nonsense with humans? It's been going on for hundreds of thousands of years, since the cavemen. They repeat the same thing. Well, power corrupts. Well, let's just bring it down. We have a new power. Yes, it's going to corrupt again. You have to have the system in place to just get rid of the greedy people. If you do a revolution, you're going to have a system from scratch. And those who are going to say, well, no, we have an idea. Karl Marx told us, do it community-based. Have a committee. Sure, you're going to listen to Karl Marx instead of actual democracy. So you can bring it down. But if your solution is, well, we're just going to have better people in power, how are we going to sort it out? Who's going to decide who's the better people? Well, trust the public. Trust the public. They voted for Keir Starmer. I know not the majority. Even if you change the voting system, I can assure you, a lot of people in many of these Western European countries will be surprised by what the majority will be voting for, what sort of policies the majority will be voting for. There's a reason you need checks and balances. There is a reason you need a proper constitution. There is a reason you need a system that could safeguard the freedoms and democracy for people. And yes, you need to bring down, you need to get rid of all these idiots in civil service. All these idiots, you have to start from scratch as the systemic reform. You have to do that. But if you want to do a bloody revolution, thinking that these guys are bad, the next guys are going to be good. But look what Oliver Cromwell did. Cromwell who burned books. Cromwell who banned everything. Cromwell who banned music. Cromwell who decided to basically ban free speech. Cromwell who decided to tell everybody what to dress like, what to do, where to walk, when to go, what to eat. You want that, Cromwell? Sure. Yes, Cromwell brought down the bad people. Was he an angel? Sue says, while Northern Ireland is being torn to shreds, the House of Commons are a mid-circle joke about the recognising a Palestinian state and the sanctions on security minister, yes, and the finance minister. This is the priority in the United Kingdom, in the political establishment. It's completely insane. They don't care. These people in power don't care. Now, where are we with you guys in the super chats? Cynthia says it wasn't racially motivated, it was rapist motivated. It's danger. People feel the fear and people lash out. Make them feel safe and they won't do it. David says, happy birthday, Maya. Have a great day and thanks for your honest work, hard work reporting. Thank you. By the way, the birthday's tomorrow, 11th of June. But we did start celebrating it now. So the discount code is from now. Right, Shauna says, gotta say, based on the chat, glad my people left the island. Got on a boat, shagged a bunch of Germans and built America. Yeah, there were a lot of good people who were sick and tired of Europe at the time, especially the Irish, the English, the Dutch. There were many good people who said enough is enough. I would rather take a massive gamble, take a risk. I'm going to get on a flimsy boat, going to go all the way to the other side. I've been told there's a land there. If I die, I die. If I don't, if I survive, I'm going to build a great life. And yes, they did. It's called the United States of America. Lily says, they are all saying the same, like effing robots. This is so sinister, it's got to be orchestrated. Evil. They are evil. Nomad says, a UK academic called an ex-Muslim from an Asian country as racist online. What? They think this racist nonsense would shut the voices everywhere. Well, that's what they think. But it's backfiring massively. Just randomly calling everybody racist is just weird. He just says, going to be a busy summer for 2CTV. Yeah, I really hope not, because I've got my wedding to sort out as well. It's busy times. The guy doing the interview has a channel. Yes, Freedom Dad. Yeah, Freedom Dad 73. Check out his channel, guys. Graham says, send in Goblin Greta. Goblin Greta to Northern Ireland. Oh no. People in Northern Ireland deserve better. Come on. They don't need to be punished further. Chris says, power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. That's a good one. Yeah. They look at the only successful human experiment we've had when it comes to governance. Again, it's called the United States of America. Look at the checks and balances. Look at the system itself. Look at the Constitution. Look at the rights. And when things go wrong, like the last 4 or 5 years, the system can correct itself because people have the power to correct it. In Europe, we don't have that mechanism. In European countries, we don't have the mechanism that the American citizens have. AFC also says, top tip, folks, Maya likes Lefroy. No, don't give me Lefroy. I do love Lefroy. It's my favorite whiskey. Scotch. Strong Scotch. No, you want to get me a gift? You want to give me a present? Make me happy by becoming a member of 2CTV+. And when I say become a member, don't click on that join button on YouTube. That's controlled by YouTube and Google. Nothing to do with us. Go on 2c.tv. The link is in the description. Use the promo code 2c37 now. You get 37% off annual memberships. It's a limited offer because it's my birthday tomorrow and I'm going to become 37. Go on 2c.tv, download the 2CTV app, become a member, get access to all the premium shows, documentaries, chat forum. If you want to talk to AFC Man UK or myself or anybody else. And of course, we have the new podcast, 2C Talks as well. We got a lot coming on the app on 2CTV+. Thanks, AFC, for the reminder. Okay, quick segue. Michael says, thanks from Australia. Happy birthday, bro. You do realize you're going to have to do all this again tomorrow when it's my birthday again. I expect everybody to say happy birthday again tomorrow. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. We're going to keep you guys posted on the police crackdown in Northern Ireland. Subscribe to the channel, become a member of 2CTV+. I'm Maya 2C, and we are the media.